All right, good afternoon. It is time now for Deep Dish Football's preview of Round 2 IHSA Playoffs 2018. My name is Coach Big Pete. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. And please feel free, recruits, to fill out the recruit questionnaire on the contact page of deepdishfootball.com. Make sure I have your information. So let's get started for our second round, 1A, as we have Orr versus Lena Winslow. I think that's going to be an easy game for Lena Winslow. Big game for me for order 1A is basically Iowa Marquette versus Dakota. Definitely a huge game to look out for as well. And of course, so I don't get any NUIC complaints, Forreston at Midville takes on the Missiles. It's supposedly it's going to be a good game. And we'll see Aurora Christian versus Princeville. Again, Aurora Christian. This is a huge game for them against Princeville. And a lot of people have called them the favorites. They are a talented team because they played a lot of 3A, 4A, even I think 5A, and I think 6A if I'm not mistaken. So they're going against Princeville. It's definitely going to be a great game. Fisher versus Argenta. Definitely a game I'm keeping an eye out for. I really do think Fisher can surprise, especially in the second round and the third round. The quarterfinals. I do apologize for that one. Next, Camp Point Central versus Carrollton. Interesting game. And Central A&M versus Edwards County. Those are some games that I'm definitely looking forward to. I think the 1A and 2A things are very interesting matchups. Very interesting, unlike the 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A. 1A and 2A. And there's going to be a lot of upsets. So all you large schools, and I say this, round 2 is a round made for upsets. So I'm just going to say that right there, as is usual of that bearing of that school of that football conference. Sorry, class. I keep saying conference, class. Chicago Hope Academy, Gibson City is a huge game for Chicago Hope. This is the hurdle. This is their huge hurdle. Gibson City looks great. I'm telling you right now, for a 2A team, they have that amount of talent returning. This year was unbelievable. Congratulations to Gibson City and Chicago Hope for probably being one of the top games in the state of Illinois. Not really interested. Orion versus Rockridge is an interesting game as well. Deep Dish Football game of the week is EPC versus Chicago Christian. Can't wait for the game. Really excited about the game. As you got NUIC Power, EPC 10-0 going against Chicago Christian, who's having a miracle season. It's going to be a good game. Speed versus brawn, as you can say. Santa Cruz to Decatur at Athens. Definitely a game to look forward to as well. Merrill Forsyth versus Chester. And of course, Bismarck Henning versus Tuscola. Bismarck Henning, great run game against Tuscola's great offensive line as well. That's going to be a very interesting game. Again, Tuscola, they graduated. I forgot the kid's name who went to Oklahoma State. But again, they had someone take his place, of course, and the offensive line still doing their wonders. I'm a little bit more interested towards Bismarck Henning. I think it's Leahy, the running back, who is just an absolute beast. It's going to be an interesting game as Bismarck Henning goes to Tuscola for second round in Class 2A. So let's go to 3A. In 3A, it is a weird one. The 3A is a scary one for me. This is a scary class for me because it can go either which way. Bryan at Princeton, good game. North Boone is a Deep Dish Football overtime game at Lyle. I'm going to be at the game. It's going to be a very interesting game. North Boone, the quarterback, Bryn Morris, unbelievable quarterback going against Lyle. Lyle's never seen a quarterback like that, this whole season. It's going to be a great game. Herscher at Hull. Hull goes up to 3A. Herscher. Solid group of wide receivers. Offensive line can be good at times. Could Herscher get the surprise? Yes, they could. Where's another game I'm looking for? I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Jones. I apologize. I said Bismarck Henning. I mistake the two teams for Bismarck Henning and Anna Jonesboro. I do apologize. Just to let you guys know. Jonesboro versus Monticello, very interesting game. Monticello, they're on a streak. Their team is looking great. I think the coach had he had his 100th win in the 9th week. Anna Jonesboro, again, great running back. Leahy, sorry about that. But it's going to be a good game. Pleasant Plains, definitely a team I'm looking out for. Tristan Tays, I've talked about him numerous times. Greenville at Pleasant Plains. I think the game's going to go towards Pleasant Plains' way. Carlinville at Paxton Lodi. Good game. Carlinville's pass offense just lighting it up. Easter Day, I'm forgetting the Easter Day, the quarterback, and there's a wide receiver. They're just doing wonders. Williamsville at Fairfield is going to be a huge. This is a big game right there. This is a huge test for Fairfield. Black Diamond Power, the Mules, they have to win. Well, of course they have to win this game, but this is a huge thing for them. This could be a changer because if they beat Williamsville, they look good. And I really do think Black Diamond, I think it's this year. I think it's their year this year. So we'll see what happens. All right, we'll go to 4A. And 4A. All right, 4A, we're going to go down all the way to 4A as I'm checking out IHSA.org. IC versus Stillman Valley. I'm going to go with IC, of course. I think Marengo is going to handle Urban Prep. Coal City versus Johnsburg is a huge game just for the point of Coal City's going into Johnsburg. They've had a few questions. They have to warm up. And if Johnsburg is on top of their game, it's going to be a long day for Coal City. Columbia, Taylorville is another game. Taylorville with that offense. Columbia, can they stop that offense? Pontiac at Rochester, huge game. Huge game for Pontiac. They need to put pressure on the quarterback. That's all you got to do. Paris at Effingham. I'm going to go with Paris on that one. Murfreesboro, at Bishop. I really do think Bishop Mack has the upper hand. I think Bishop Mack has the upper hand for the whole South Division. I really do. I think Bishop Mack is just looking good. It's going to be a good game when Rochester plays Bishop Mack. It's definitely a game to look out for. And that is a one, like literally one of my personal feelings because I think that I thought Bishop Mack was going to go into 3A, but now they're in 4A. So what are you going to do? All right, 5A. Elmwood Park, Evergreen Park. That's a tough game. If Elmwood Park gets that win, watch out. Watch out. That'd be a great win for that program. Definitely a huge win as they get a second round win. Evergreen Park, great group of athletes, as everyone knows. It'll be interesting to see how Elmwood Park's passing offense of Stransky goes against Evergreen. Very interesting to watch. Sycamore at Montini, because Montini is a 4A for some reason. A 5A for some reason. So I'm going to go with Montini, of course. Sterling at Brooks. I think can Sycamore upset Montini? It could happen, but Sycamore's got to be on top of their game. St. Francis at Boylan Catholic's a huge game. St. Francis has the chance of upsetting Boylan, but it's a tough game because it's on Boylan's grounds. It's going to be a good game. Really like Boylan's offensive line against the St. Francis defensive line, especially the run game. Brooks, Sterling. At Brooks, I'm going to go for Sterling on that one. The Caden MacArthur at Hillcrest is a huge game. The Caden MacArthur, their secondary's got to be on top of their game. Simple as that. Because Country Club Hills, a.k.a. Hillcrest, is going to hurt them with that passing attack. So we'll see what happens. Carbondale, Cahokia. I'm going to go with Carbondale as they go on their Cinderella story again. Mantoon at Highland, big game. Highland's offense, unbelievable, going against Mantoon. If they get the win, if Highland gets the win, they're going to be facing off against Julia Catholic in the winner of Julia Catholic and Marmion. And if they have to go to Julia Catholic, Highland and Julia Catholic, ouch, that's going to be a tough game. So we'll see what happens. It should be an interesting game as well. I don't know how Montini and Julie Catholic aren't 5A. That's just mind-boggling to me. And I'm going to piss off some people and say, why? Where did you see that? I don't understand why. So 6A, Kalen versus Cary Grove. Cary Grove is on top. They're on fire right now. I think that Cary Grove is most likely going to get the win. Phillips, Prairie Ridge. Phillips is going to Prairie Ridge. I'm sorry. Prairie Ridge is going to Phillips. If Prairie Ridge is on top of their game, Phillips had trouble with Lake Forest High School. So when you have trouble against that type of school and you're Phillips, if Crystal Lake is, again, if Prairie Ridge is on top of their game, Prairie Ridge can upset Phillips. They can. And probably most likely will upset Phillips. Antioch versus Lake's a classic North Suburbs game. I'm going to go with Antioch on that one. Notre Dame Niles, Notre Dame, Crystal Lake South at Crystal Lake South. If Crystal Lake South gets some early points, watch out. Crystal Lake South could win that game. Yorkville at Richards, big game. I'm going to go with Richards on this one. But Yorkville has a chance of upsetting them as they've had a miraculous season this season. Shepherd at Normal Community West. I think I'm going to go with Normal West on that one. Sacred Heart Griffin at Washington. Big game. Huge game. Two power run teams, basically. I'm going to say this. If Sacred Heart Griffin, like I talked about earlier, if they get hot, watch out. But if Washington can keep it inside after the first half against Sacred Heart Griffin, Washington's got that game. Chan Glenwood at Crete-Monee. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to stick with my dark horse team. Chan Glenwood, I think, can beat Crete-Monee. So to the 7A, shall we? To the 7A schedule. Right. And we can talk about all the fun things going on. 7A, as we have Simeon versus Lincoln Way West, which I'm going to favor with Simeon. Hersey versus Nazareth Academy. That's an interesting game. If Nazareth takes Hersey lightly, this is the problem with Nazareth Academy. When they take teams lightly, they lose. So, if they take Hersey lightly, Hersey's going to sting them in the ass, and Hersey will win that game. No doubt about it. So, it's going to be an interesting game to watch. Moline at Batavia. I'm going to go with Batavia. Willowbrook versus Maine West at Willowbrook. Interesting game, especially Coach Cradman's got his team playing. They have them playing. These are two streaky teams that are facing against each other, especially with Willowbrook's pass offense and their run-and-shoot offense. It's going to be an interesting game, but I'm going to go with Willowbrook on it. East St. Louis at Glenbard East. I think it's the miracle stops at Glenbard East. If East St. Louis is able to score first, I think East St. Louis is going to win the game. Mount Carmel at Lake Zurich. A game that's been played over and over and over again in the postseason, seems like. I'm going to go with Mount Carmel on this one. Wheaton Warrenville South at Rockton Hanahu. This is a tough one. Hanahu's offensive line, their passing attack against Wheaton Warrenville South. They're traveling. Big travel, too, as well. This is going to be a tough game. I'm not going to give a winner. Rolling Meadows at St. Charles North. Oh, big game. That's a big game. I think Rolling Meadows can get the win at St. Charles North, personally. I think they can get the win at St. Charles North. It's going to be a big game, though. St. Charles North, Tyler Newbin, he's going to create a lot of headaches for Rolling Meadows. Rolling Meadows has a great group of athletes. O'Hara, Pedezra at defensive tackle. They got a good group of running backs as well. Kid begins with an S last name. So it's going to be interesting. That's definitely an interesting game to look at. Rolling Meadows versus St. Charles North. All right, and we go into the lovely 8A conference, the Big Dog Conference of the state of Illinois for IHSA. OPRF at Brother Rice. I'm going to go Brother Rice. I think they're going to get this game. Gurney. Gurney versus Hinsdale Central at Gurney. I'm going to go with Gurney Warren Township. That defense is just going to be too much. That defense line is going to be too much for Hinsdale Central's offensive line. Home of Flossmoor, Barrington. It's going to be an interesting game as it's played in Barrington. Marist versus Naperville Central at Naperville Central. That's a good game, but I like the Marist defense a lot. Lincoln Way East, Glenbard West, big game. I'm gonna go, of course, with Lincoln Way East. They're just too much. Aurora West versus Edwardsville at Edwardsville. It's a nice little travel. I'm gonna go with Edwardsville on that one. Oswego at Wilmette. Another interesting game, especially with travel. I'm going to go with Loyola on this one. And Maine South Deep Dish Football Game of the Week, overtime Game of the Week. Maine South versus Wabansie Valley. Great game. Can't wait for it. 2 even teams. So this is going to be an interesting game, as is the round 2 IHSA playoffs. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please visit deepdishfootball.com. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Also, a quick reminder, Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, hopefully Sunday at 9 a.m. Deep Dish Football Live Thursday, hopefully at 8 p.m., so Facebook doesn't mess me up. And if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip on the link via PayPal for Deep Dish Football. Thank you so much, and have a lovely day. And enjoy Round 2 2018 IHSA Football Playoffs.